Guys, we are getting close to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's very first DLC pack, so let's talk predictions on Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's moveset, alongside what else can come in DLC Pack 1.
I keep on working, got purpose and worth. Music's my cure and this world is my purse. Get rid of this curse with every verse. Of course I've been hurt, but some have been much worse. Leave me alone, get out of my head, block out the opinions.
Guys, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you so much for the likes and subscribes last video. It means so much to me that you're interacting with the channel and that you're enjoying the content. If you haven't checked out the last video, I'm going to leave it in the description down below. And for any newcomers out there that are watching this video and such, I hope that you can like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the content. Other than that, guys, let's get to it. So after Beast Gohan, it seems like the second most anticipated characters are Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, and I'm guessing that's just due to their on-screen presence and charisma they brought throughout the whole movie. They were edgy, they were cool, they were fun to be around, and I think we all just enjoyed them in general. And we know for a fact that they're 100% going to be in the game due to the fact that they're literally on the promotional card for the new DLC pack coming out, which means the only thing we need to talk about is predictions, guys. What are their movesets going to be for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Now let's talk Gamma 2 predictions. So first off, he definitely had 3 major fights in that movie. Now, the first one being when he fought Piccolo earlier on in the movie, at the very beginning of the movie. Then he fought Piccolo again, but a more powered up version on top of Orange Piccolo. So yeah, we've got that to talk about. And then he did have a fight with Cell, but it was more of like a final attack, that sacrifice attack that he made in the movie, which we'll talk about in depth a little more, because obviously that will be his final move. We're going to draw some movesets that you could potentially have from that, so let's get to it.
Damn, this guy's good!
Okay, so now that we know the 3 major fights that we're going to pull Gamma 2's moveset material from, let's talk movesets now. So first off, obviously we have the 2 abilities. His first ability is definitely going to be a pose, or some sort of pose that gives him an attack buff, defense buff, or, you know, a blast buff, or whatever the case may be. It's going to buff a couple of his attributes. I don't know which ones, but I'm pretty sure it's going to buff a couple of his attributes. That's what I'm predicting. And then the second one, after reviewing the footage, I know I asked you guys before, but then I reviewed the footage, and yes, it was Gamma 2 that I saw use the shield against Piccolo in his second fight with him, when Piccolo used his special beam cannon, and it kind of like, it didn't pierce through it, it kind of just like split the special beam cannon into like different parts. It started making like laser trails everywhere and all that stuff. But yeah, he used the shield against Piccolo, so I'm going to be very certain that he's going to get a shield. I'm predicting that he's going to get a shield. He's going to get a shield, and he's going to get a buff of some sort, but it's going to be in the form of like a pose or whatnot. So those are his 2 abilities. Also, something kind of small to throw in there, he did do a unique throw. I mean, it's not too much of a unique throw, but it's a throw that's different to all the other regular throws. So he kind of picks up Piccolo by both the legs, swings him around, and then throws him, and then I believe he hits him down into that, wherever, that trench or wherever the case may be, where he then becomes Orange Piccolo, but I can't remember. I know he does pick him up by both legs, swings him around, and throws him, so that will probably be his grab move, just to put that out there. That'll probably be his grab move. So in regards to his actual moveset now, I don't want to be lazy and just keep giving them both a pistol, but like, you've seen the movie. Well, you should have seen the movie. They both used those pistols quite a lot in that movie, and that was kind of like their thing at the time, them just using the pistols, doing cool stuff with it. So I'm gonna give him the pistol just like Gamma 1, and say that, you know, obviously when you charge it and hold it down, it will shoot a different way, where maybe the blasts separate, maybe the blast gets really, you know, big, or whatever the case may be. But he's definitely gonna have something like that for his first attack. Now, I know that they're probably gonna change the animation of just your regular ki blast with him and Gamma 1, where instead of shooting the regular, small little ki blast from his hands, they'll probably give him the pistol kind of animation where he'll pull out the pistol and shoot like mini ki blasts as well. So he'll have that in addition to what he has in his main slot. It's just that what's in his main slot obviously is going to be a lot stronger than, shooting the regular ki blast. And it'll probably be more like a beam type, laser type thing. Going on to his second attack slot now, I feel like we all know what that's going to be because it's been in every Dragon Ball game I can think of that he's been in, where he has that rush type move where you actually see the sound effects of his punches and stuff like that, which is funny because when he did it in the movie, it was so like funny and different because even, the character in the movie acknowledged, even Piccolo acknowledged the fact that, like, what the heck, why can I see his sound effects? I think he said exactly that. But I'll have it up on screen now so you know what I'm talking about. But when he first encountered Piccolo and every time he punched Piccolo, you could see the sound effect. And I think that was a really cool thing. So I'm 100% sure they're going to definitely add it in this game. It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't. And they're going to add it in there as a rush move. So that would be pretty cool to see. I'm going to love to see how they animate it. It's probably going to be similar to like Xenoverse and whatnot, but obviously in the Sparking Zero style. But yeah, I can't wait to see that move. That move I'm 100% sure is going to be his second rush move. Or sorry, not second rush move. I'm 100% sure is going to be his rush move. Last but not least, his ultimate attack. Now, I feel like we all know what that's going to be. That big self-sacrificing move that he did at the very end of the movie where he flew up in the sky as high as he possibly could and then fly straight down at extreme speed, aiming for Cell's core, which was on top of his head, literally decimating Cell's arm when he tried to block the attack. So this move is called Core Breaker, and we've seen it in the movie, we've seen it amongst a couple games like Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball Legends. Now, this move is going to be a self-sacrificing move. So it's going to be something like Vegeta's or Majin Vegeta's final explosion, where once you use it, you'll have 1 HP left. So obviously use it wisely. Now, this move will also be a rush move, because obviously you're going to rush towards the opponent when you use it and stuff like that. But how it will activate, I feel as though what will happen is you will rush towards the opponent, punch them down wherever they are, and they'll be stunned and look up to see Gamma 2 flying upwards and then flying down at extreme speed. Now, he's either going to crash into him straight and then this huge explosion will take place, and then obviously that's when the animation ends. Or I'm thinking, just to make the animation a bit longer, what they can do is, in the movie, Cell kind of resisted by putting up his hand. So maybe whoever the opponent is might resist the attack a little, for then Gamma 2 to put more power into the attack to then follow through, and then the explosion takes place as well. One of the two may happen. I would like to see a second one because it shows a bit more animation, and it shows like the character resisting as well, but then obviously to fail. But that would be cool. That would be cool to see. So that, I believe, will be Gamma 2's moveset. But these are just my predictions. These are just stuff that I feel like should be in the game and that I feel like they're probably going to put in the game. So let's talk about Gamma 1. But before we break down his moveset, we need to talk about the fights that he was in and where they're going to pull the material from. So, in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, I believe he only had 2 serious fights, and the first one being obviously Gamma 1 versus Gohan. Yes, that epic fight where Gohan finally arrives to the Red Ribbon Army and he searches for Pan, or he tries to rescue Pan, but ends up having to fight Gamma 1 being in his way, and they have that epic fight in the rain, which was great cinematography, by the way. And yeah, they just, they can definitely pull quite a lot of the material from that. The second fight is with obviously Cell Max, but I'm not going to really count that too much due to the fact that it was only just a couple punches and maybe him using his pistol a couple times. So I don't really think that they're going to pull too much from that at all. But the main thing will be the Gamma 1 versus Gohan fight. So there were some pretty cool moments in that fight between Gamma 1 and Gohan, and the one thing I remember when anyone brings up that fight is the part where Gohan must have punched him really hard and he hit the floor, but then Gamma 1 rose up like a mummy just to counter him by headbutting him. Like, they both headbutted each other and clashed, and I just thought that was really cool and really well done. And I thought how they could translate that into Sparking Zero. Now, when you can counter a revenge counter, I thought, why don't you tweak Gamma 1's version to where obviously this only applies to Gamma 1, but he's able to, obviously if you're able to pull off the counter to the revenge counter, then he does get hit on the floor, but then he rises up like he does in the movie, headbutts you, but then knocks you away. I think that would be a cool little tweak to his counter to a revenge counter, just to make the character unique, because you gotta remember guys, these characters have had a bit more time worked on due to the fact that they're DLC and they got released obviously at a later date to the actual base roster. So they're gonna have a lot of time to kind of focus on these characters, make them unique as possible, so that you're gonna want to play, you know, Gamma 1 for that animation or something like that, you know? It's just a little small little thing I thought would be really cool if they added. So aside from that guys, getting on to his actual main moveset. So first off, we're gonna get, you know, the 2 evasive type buff, you know, parts to the moveset. So first one I think we're gonna get is 100% a pose. I don't know what the pose is going to be, if it's going to boost your defense, attack, ki, or whatnot, or speed, but he's definitely going to get some sort of hero pose, and it's going to buff one of his attributes. Maybe his speed, his defense, I don't know what, but he's definitely going to get a buff move for sure, and that's going to be in the form of like a pose or whatnot. Then I'm gonna assume that he's going to get some sort of, I don't want to say, he won't get an instant spark, but I do believe he might get something like an explosive wave. No, he might get a barrier. So a barrier and then obviously a unique pose. That's how a unique pose that will buff his moves. Those are the 2 abilities that I think he's gonna get. Now his actual moveset. His first one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a beam attack in the form of a, you know, a pistol move. So you're going to be able to charge up the pistol and then it might, you know, shoot a certain way, you know, depending on which character you pick, Gamma 1 or Gamma 2. So I'm going to guess if you charge it up, it'll have a stronger blast, and maybe it will, you know, maybe it'll be a blast where he shoots it and then it kind of parts, and then it becomes like multiple lasers or whatnot, like he did in the movie, or like their pistols do in the movie. So it might be that, but I know if you're going to be able to charge it and hold it down, and then it will probably shoot a different type of way. But yeah, he's definitely going to have like a regular pistol blast move. His secondary, I do believe it's going to be a rush move, and it's going to involve the pistol as well. So you'll probably rush him, attack a lot, and then, you know, he'll use the pistol, and then that'll be the finisher to it. Now his ultimate, I'm gonna assume, and I had to rewatch the footage for this one, he did this fiery leg kick to Gohan in the middle of his fight. I'm gonna assume he's gonna do that, where he kind of punched Gohan down, jumps up, and then does this really like cool fiery kick, and then kind of like what Trunks does in Xenoverse. But yeah, I think he does this like cool fiery kick. I'll leave it on screen now. And that will be his ultimate, but it'll probably be like an explosion when he does it, and it lands and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna assume it's something like that. I could be wrong, but that could even be his rush attack, for all I know. But I'm gonna assume that's either gonna they're gonna either implement that as a rush attack, or they're gonna implement that as a ultimate. That's what I'm predicting. That move is definitely going to be in the game, but I don't know if it's gonna be his ult or his rush, just regular rush attack. So those are the move sets. Cosmetic wise, I think he'll just have a different color variation to his outfits, maybe a torn up one, like a battle torn one. Other than that, yeah, I don't think he'll have too many costumes, but yeah, definitely something like that. But those are my predictions for Gamma 1. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, or what your predictions are for Gamma 1.
What evil secret organization are you talking about? I'm talking about you guys! Are you insane?
Overall guys, I feel like Gamma 2 definitely had more of a definitive moveset than Gamma 1, because like I keep saying, Gamma 1 mostly threw hands in his fights. We saw him use his pistol a bit, but he mostly threw hands with Gohan, and he had like one main fight with Gohan, I guess, and then he had like a little, you know, scraps with Cell Max when he could use his pistol, or when he could get a few good looks in. But Gamma 2 on the other hand, he fought Piccolo twice, and he did quite a lot when he fought. Like, you know, the whole sound effect punching thing that I predicted would be a rush move, and then he had Core Breaker that he used against Cell. That was the definitive move. Like, we knew that was his ultimate, you know, last resort move, which is what they're probably gonna put in the game, most likely. So That's what I'm saying. He had more of a definitive moveset than Gamma 1, but we still were able to kind of predict certain stuff for Gamma 1, like the headbutt thing and stuff like that. So let's just see what happens. Let's see if our predictions come true. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna leave it to you. So guys, I'm gonna leave it to you. What do you think Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's moveset's gonna be? Do you think that they're gonna really scavenge through for Gamma 1 any sort of flashy thing that he did, or are they gonna make somewhat of original moves for him? Let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, guys, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Stay saucy, stay sweet, and I will catch you in the next video in a bit.